All good.
Bibbidi boop.
Her.
Bah.
Cool. All right. It's already recording because I've already pressed the button, so we might as well just podcast.
Fucking go for it, like.
Have a little pod. Do a little poddy time. Lovely. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am your host, Rich Owens, back once again, very similarly to the Renegade Master, in more ways than one. And I'm joined this evening by my close personal friend. It's Sweet D-Boy Plays. Hello, D-Balls. How are you, friend?
I'm very good, Rich. I'm very good. How are you? Good. How have you? We both had a lovely week off.
Oh, my goodness gracious me.
We haven't had to work for a week.
Oh, this is brilliant. Honestly, I love this. I could get used to it. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Some people claim you might get a bit bored if you don't work. To those people, I say, no, you are massively incorrect.
So many things I could do.
I've been having such a nice time. What have you done with your week off, D? Have you had a nice week off?
Oh, let's run through the week off. I had a mild panic attack at the start of the week.
Good.
Which wasn't good.
No.
Sort of. I was overwhelmed, let's say, because obviously I'm doing this silly release thing, and I was mildly overwhelmed by it all. I was just thinking, oh my God, I've got so much stuff I need to take care of. But it was a good thing, because then it immediately made my brain kick in, and then I was like, stuff to sort. That was 6 days ago. So many things have happened since then. I've streamed a lot of FM. I've played some Pokemon with Callum and Stakey.
You have.
I bought this for the visual people, for the audio listeners. It is a clip-on microphone which you can pair with your phone.
Well done. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, and that's about it, really, Rich. What have you done with your week off?
I've been busy boy, Deebles. Last weekend it was my wife's birthday, which is why I wasn't on the pod. So I spent the weekend in Liverpool with my family and my wife, and a lovely time was had by all. And then we've been home, and then we've kind of done we've staggered it. We've finally worked out the structure of a half term with two children who require, one of whom requires constant stimulation and activities and fun, the other who just wants to hide in a dark room by himself. Busy day, quiet day, busy day, quiet day. So that's what we've done. We've had some busy days, we've had some quiet days, had some play dates, lived our lives. I've done some streaming as well. Streamed some football management, and now I've come to the end of it. I've had a really, really nice time. It's good. I think despite what I've just said, I think I'm ready to go back to work tomorrow. Yeah,
it'd be nice to have it. It's getting the routine back, isn't it? I think that's the only thing that when you have time away from work, that is the one thing you do miss. Like summer holidays. Don't know about you in the summer holidays. I couldn't tell you what day of the week it is. At any point.
No. I go a bit mental during the summer holidays because I just completely lose track. Lose track. It's easily done.
I need events. I need to have things in my calendar as like, okay, cool. Wednesday, the 23rd of July. That's see friend day. And I know I've got it as a thing to work towards instead of just, could be Thursday, could be any day,
Sure. No, it's important, isn't it? You need a bit of structure. You need a little bit of something just to steer you through, because otherwise it does get very Groundhog Day.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. And I will not be when my alarm goes off tomorrow morning. I will be full of resentment. But until then, psychologically prepared ish. To an extent. Lovely pod last week, by the way, fellas. Lovely bit of podcasting. I enjoyed having a listen on my way home. Sorry, not on my way home. The day after, the day I got home, not on my way home, because that was the past. Wasn't available to me then. But no, lovely stuff. So thank you for putting out such a wonderful podcast in my absence. And it's nice to be back to...
It was a fun one to do.
Lower the standards.
No.
Is
not lowering the standards.
Football Managers too easy? Is the general consensus?
Well, just the briefest of updates. FM, I would say this. I think FM is too easy, but it's still just as cruel as it always wants to be, because I did make it to the Libertadores final and we lost 3-2 to a 94th minute winner.
Oh, no.
I mean, if people went back and watched the VOD around that point, literally the opposition had a corner and I just sat here and went, please don't do this. Please. I sounded so pathetic. Just, please don't do this. Please don't do this to me, game. And then they did.
No, thank you. Not
like,
today.
Well, good. Thanks. Thanks, FM. So we go again. Season 14. Exactly. Season 14's the one.
Season
the Libertadores will be mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of seasons.
It is a lot of seasons. Well, speaking of FM stuff, funnily, this is a Football Manager podcast. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
I don't know if you knew. Yeah. Because obviously, like you say, and last week's episode was me doing a recap on my save. As the only two people that play the game, I think it's worth giving the lovely people at home a nice save update on how things were going in your universe, Rich.
Sure. Okay.
I think that would be a nice, neat thing to do.
Okay. Shall we?
I think we should. If I could ask you to start with, I'm going to mini quiz you throughout this, and I'm going to leave you to it to explain things, but I will mini quiz you throughout. For anybody who maybe for some reason missed the episode where you announced it, they may have been, they might have been busy, they may have, I don't know, tying their shoelaces and they just missed the alert. Possibly. Happens to the best of us. If you could give us a mini, bio, description, synopsis of your save, what's going on?
So the overarching concept, the very well thought out concept.
Yeah, just the umbrella of what the save is.
Sure. So the save is called the Beautiful South, which was researched painstakingly for many, probably from the second I think my FM24 save ended until the day that FM26 came out. Meticulous planning and research, because I thought, well, how do I top a save based loosely around the name of an album from the 90s? You wait until your podcast co-hosts make a very throwaway joke about the song Rotterdam by the Beautiful South on the pod, and then you go, you know what, yeah, that'll do. That's fine.
And to think, you could have been doing an entire save with Rigobert's song as your assistant. That's what could have been. That's what
could have happened, but it's not what is happening. So we came up with the concept, the Beautiful South, trying to win. The initial idea was just trying to win things with clubs from the cities listed in the chorus of Rotterdam by the Beautiful South. So Rotterdam, Liverpool, Rome, and anywhere, which kind of opens it up a little bit, doesn't it? Gives you a little bit of freedom to play. I started in Rotterdam with Feyenoord because it seemed like the most sensible jumping off point. I don't have as much time to stream as yourself. I mean, you are 14 seasons in. Yeah. I am now 4 seasons in. So there's your basis of comparison.
But you have children and dare I say a life.
Yeah. I mean, technically both those things are true. Sparta Rotterdam seemed like that would take a millennia to do anything with. So Feyenoord seemed like the appropriate jumping off point. The plan was initially to just try and win things and then see how we felt. Season 1 went significantly better than I thought it was going to. Until the final day of the season, because very much like yourself in the Libertadores, I found myself in a position where I could have won the league title season 1 if results had gone my way on the last day, which they didn't. And by results, I mean the game that I was managing. I needed to win on the final day of the season and beat PEC Zwolle to win the title, and they just properly FM'd me, and I lost 1-0, and I got pipped on the final day by Ajax, and I was quite sad.
I can imagine.
Yeah, not fun losing a title on the last day with people watching you as well. I think that's what
I do believe I was there when that moment happened.
Yeah, not not the strongest of starts, but I did do a Dutch Cup, so that was nice. So I won a trophy, and I felt quite
you won
nice about it.
something that season.
I won something that season. That then led me to consider the parameters of what winning things should actually be, because I don't want to be too loosey-goosey in terms of the long-term objectives of the save. So then I set myself in Season 2 the target of winning, before I could move on to a new club, needing to win a league title and a European trophy of some description with each club in the save, or if we go elsewhere for the anywhere, some form of continental competition.
Yeah.
Season 2, I mean, a second place finish, it gets you Champions League football in the Eredivisie. Always fun. So we found ourselves in the Champions League. Immediately, you found out that I was quite outclassed in the Champions League, because I had my pants pulled down by pretty much every team I played against. I had an absolutely torrid time in the Champions League. Went out in the group phase with a bit of... Actually, no, that wasn't true. Nearly went out of the group phase. Pulled it out the bag in the last game against Genk. Got through to the knockouts on goal difference. And then lost to Manchester United, shockingly enough. Betwixt that, in terms of the Eredivisie in Season 2, I turned into a bit of a Pictionary specialist, D. Because I just couldn't stop drawing. Could not stop drawing.
Very
Awful,
good.
isn't it?
Our very own Van Gogh, if you will.
Yes. Vincent van Gogh and score some more goals, please, Feyenoord, because we can't keep dropping points. Season 2, knocked out of the Champions League in the first knockout round. Sad times. Won the Dutch Cup again somehow, purely by accident. Very much like with you at Galatasaray winning that Champions League. Just didn't mean to do it. It just kind of happened.
Win the whole thing.
But then, in terms of the league, because I drew so many games, I scraped into 4th place in the Eredivisie, which was not ideal. Shockingly, beaten to the title in Season 2 by the most likely of clubs, AZ Alkmaar. Who saw that coming?
Of course, yeah.
Not them, not me, not anybody watching the streams. I think we were all a bit surprised. However, and I think you raised this point at the time when I was streaming, D, a 4th place finish in the Eredivisie got me into the Europa League. Now, Champions League at that point, definitely off the table. Just didn't seem viable. I had, at the time, on paper, a very, very good Eredivisie team. Like, you would expect them to be competing for the title based on the players that I'd bought in. Ajax are really, really good. For some reason, Season 2, AZ Alkmaar were incredibly good. But it was all set up for me, looking at the quality of the team, looking at the players I'd built, looking at the squad I'd built. It felt very much like the Europa League was probably doable. I got very giddy looking at the league table when it was announced at the start of Season 3, and I thought, oh, Spurs are in there. I can beat Spurs. There are no other good teams in this league. And then I paid a bit more attention to it. I was like, oh, no, bugger, the Villa are in there. Lille are in there. AC Milan are in. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. So my mood just dipped quite quickly at the start of Season 3. Season 3, though, is where it kind of all started. Everything just started to click a little bit. I think the squad was settled. I think the starting 11 hadn't changed that much. Since
I was going to ask, so because there were a few signings you'd made Season 1, right? There were the likes of, obviously, your favourite player in the history of football, Luka Toplivic.
Yes, Luka Toplivic was one of the first signings, because of course he was.
Of course he was. And then Francolino was a first season pickup as well?
Yep, Francolino from Midtjylland, who I was convinced I'd just uncovered this gem that nobody else had ever heard of. And then I was like, oh, I've signed him, he's really good. Of course you have. Of course you bloody have.
Well, he's one of those names that pops up on the lists, isn't he?
He's superb. He's so good.
There's reason,
Francolino came in, Toplivic, because of course he did, initially on loan, and then I just bought him out of just fear that somebody else might. I was like, I can't be without him for too long. I'll be very sad. We bought in players like Leon Gergic, who, again, he's He's really, really, really good. Like physically amazing, mentally really, really good. The technicals aren't phenomenal, but he's carried by the physicals.
Yeah.
But then, the likes of a lot of the midfielders, you've got the likes of like Sem Steen, who was there from the off, brought in like a German holding midfielder whose name I changed to Gunter Ruppety Puppety, and I can't remember who he is in real life. He will just be Gunter forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the back line for the first few seasons were, again, pretty much exactly what I had at the club when I started. Jordan Boss, who's like a really, really good left back, he was there. Reed, who is like in real football, people say he's going to be quite good in the future. He's an up and coming Dutch fullback. Justin Bieslow, the goalkeeper, has been there since the day he was born. Like that didn't change too much. Anil Ahmedhodzic, if you've played FM23, you'll know how good he had the potential to be on that game. Still quite good on FM26. And then just built around them, just replaced. We were talking before we started recording the pod this evening. We were talking about, trying to do like almost like a Brighton and Hove Albion-esque challenge in terms of transfer window. Make loads of money on selling your better players to the massive European clubs. Replace them with young contenders. And that was the transfer policy with Feyenoord. That's kind of how it went season to season. Young players.
Like the Dutch league is a really good league to do that in as well.
It really is. You can take somebody who wouldn't necessarily get minutes at a Premier League side, or somewhere like Serie A or La Liga, somebody who wouldn't make it into a team that was title contenders, but you can stick them into an Eredivisie team and they will be one of the better players in the division early doors, and they just get minutes
actually
and
develop.
Minutes. Exactly that. So that's what we did. Like Franklino, Gergic, two prime examples. They played every minute they were fit. They were the starting two. Topolovic being the same. We might have harped on about Luka Topolovic a little bit on this podcast before, and people love to come into my streams and say, "Oh, he's not very good in my save," and that's because you didn't sign him and play him in every fixture. That's the mistake you made. You just have to give the kids the minutes, and that was always there in the back of my mind. As if we ended up needing to stay at Feyenoord for a very long time, we've got these commodities, we sell them on, we make loads of money, we bring in another series of decent wonder kids or players with potential from around the world, and we keep going like that. That's fine. That's how it works. That's how Football Manager works, managing in the Netherlands, or a lot of Scandi clubs who can do the same kind of thing as well. Absolutely fine. You're golden, aren't you? But this ragtag group of plucky children that I'd assembled at Feyenoord were playing really well. Really well. Like season 2, yes, we were drawing a lot of games, but at the same time, we weren't losing a huge amount. Season 3, we just hit the ground running. It all seemed to make sense. I'd built enough of a team where I had a really, really strong starting 11, but there was enough depth in position around the club that when it came to your standard like championship format, you're playing Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, or Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. I had enough players to keep everybody fit and healthy, so I wasn't having to rely on the same players week in, week out. And suddenly, the tactic clicked. The players were playing fantastically, and that form carried on into Europe as well. Like, we started brilliantly. In the Europa League group phase, we played the likes of, we played Lille in the first game of our first game of the competition, and I thought Lille are a bloody good side. Beat them 3-1 at home quite comfortably.
Nice.
We played one of my favourite clubs, Midtjylland. A lot of my branding, and for the audio listeners, I'm doing air quotations because it's not very good branding. My logo on Twitch is based around the Midtjylland logo. We beat them. We beat Porto. We had a really, really good run. In the group stage. We finished second in the table, I think. Second in the Europa League table.
That's really good.
First time of asking, I was like, this is fantastic, because it means we miss out on that first knockout round. I think Lille were up there or thereabouts. The Villa were there or thereabouts. Marseille were in there as well, but they finished kind of 8th to 24th, so they had an extra series of fixtures play. Milan had extra fixtures as well. And I thought this sits us in really, really good stead moving forwards in the competition, because at this point, I'm looking at this team and thinking that they're still not Champions League contenders. This isn't a team that would do this well. This isn't a team that's going to finish top 8 in the Champions League by any stretch of the imagination. But the Europa, this is where we're going to be sitting. In terms of the Eredivisie, alongside that, we also were doing brilliantly. We were drawing a few games, but nowhere near as many as season 2. So we were there. We were in the title fight with the likes of Ajax. AZ had another really good season as well. So kind of midway through the season, we're in a bit of a title fight with, it's it could have gone any way between the 3 clubs, but we just weren't losing. I then started to notice we've not lost for a really, really long time now.
Yeah.
How long have we not lost for? And then I had to go back and I checked and I said that the last competitive game, bearing in mind at this point, we're coming up to Christmas. I said, we haven't lost a competitive game of football since February the year before. Sorry, the season before, sorry. So we've gone like 10 months undefeated, which is ridiculous.
It's bonkers.
It's insane. It had no right to be. And we're grinding out a couple of games, but we never, it was very rare that we were having to come back from massive deficits or really, really struggling. Everything just seemed to be working. I was playing the kids all the way through the Dutch Cup as well, because we had a quite favourable draws in that as well. So I'm just playing the kids, but the kids just kept doing bits in the Dutch Cup. I was like, suddenly, we found ourselves in the semi-final. We had AZ Alkmaar in the semis, and then we played them again in the league the next week. Well, 3 days later, which is always fun. Yeah. Always fun. Repeated fixtures against the same club. Beat them in both. I'm like, suddenly, we're a year undefeated. This is quite insane. Ajax were keeping pace with us the whole way through, as they will often do, and they did in season 1, where they pipped us by a point on the last game of the season. Suddenly, in terms of the Eredivisie, Ajax forgot how to win. And they started hemorrhaging points. Oh, it's so nice, isn't it? When it happens to somebody that isn't you, it's such a satisfying feeling. They started dropping points. We kept winning. So we had like a 6 or 7 point gap on them. Like, this is going phenomenally well. At the same time, obviously, you get into, you're kind of getting, tail end of the season. That's when the Europa League bits and pieces start, D. So you've got that at the same time. In terms of the opening, in terms of our first knockout games, couldn't have been more favourable. We had Victoria Pleasant in the first knockout round.
Yeah.
Lovely. Like, you take that. You absolutely take that.
It's great team to get, because it's just like, cool, thanks for the shoe in to the next round.
Yes, this feels good. Scraped a 2-1 win away, and I was like, oh no, let's not start this. And then beat them 4-0 at home.
Nice.
Fine. Loving life. Repeated the group stage fixtures. Midtjylland in the quarterfinals. Again, a favourable tie, because we've played them once, we know we can beat them. And in terms of some of the other teams there, Marseille were in there, Spurs, AC Milan, Lille. These are the teams you want to be avoiding. And I did. And again, Midtjylland 8-2 on aggregate against Midtjylland. Absolutely cruising.
After you stole their striker.
Yeah, exactly, because I stole exactly that. Yeah. Ironically, just checking back the fixtures now. I like Frank scored twice against them, away from home as well. I'm hoping there was a lot of this. Giving it the big un. Giving it the big un.
Not going, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everybody. Oh, they're going to win the cup.
Yeah, man.
He backflipped. He's never done that before in his life. Like, we were absolutely flying. For some reason, inexplicably, won the Dutch Cup again.
Perfect.
With the kids. Betwixt all of this, I was like, what was this? Dutch Cup final. 2 days after the Midtjylland game. That doesn't make... Okay, no, fine, let's do that. Chucked the kids out. Won the Dutch Cup final. 3 in a row. I can't be stopped.
3 in a row. Fantastic.
Honestly, I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Running, and at this point, this is mid-April now.
Yeah.
We're top of the league. We're in a Europa League semi-final. We've won the Dutch Cup. Hooray! I was like, this is... when you start to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The belief was creeping in.
Yeah. It's a scary thought.
It's a terrifying thought. Just thinking you might do well at something. And then we got the Europa League semi-final draw. Frustratingly, all the big teams that I'd named, like in the run to this, your Lille's, your AC Milan's, Marseille, very much like me, were having very, very favourable knockout draws. You would hope, you're thinking to yourself, I really, really hope that, Spurs are going to play Milan. One of those big teams is gone off the table. Yeah. Wasn't happening. They were having the lucky draws like me as well. So AC Milan in the Europa League semi-finals.
It's a scary one to get.
Horror. Absolute horror. Again, we were very fortunate, and it's the format that I like in a two-legged European tie. Every single European tie we played in the knockouts, we played away from home first. And I prefer that. I much prefer
so much
the away
easier.
draw, because you know that you then know what you have to do at home to get through. Like it's very straightforward.
Yeah. Not like when I did my, you've given me a flashback to my Aarhus save in 24, where we first time in the Europa League, I think we got Villa and we beat them. We played home then away. We beat them 5-1. And it was like, oh, sweet, we're quids in. Went to their gaff and then they beat us 6-0.
Yeah.
And it was 5-0 at half time. And I was like, why is this happening? This isn't fair.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I've had the exact same thing before as well. I think it may have been with Lille on like FM22, I want to say.
Right.
Like we had a good Champions League run and we got to Barcelona in the quarters and we beat them 4-0 at home. And I'm like, we're in. We've made the Champions League semis, best day of my life. And then we made a little trip to Spain, and I think we were 5-0 down at the half. Like, this is just
this is just cruel.
Please stop. And sometimes when you're 5-0 up at half time and you go, this game is finishing 5-0, the second half, nothing will happen. I think we lost something ridiculous, like 11-5 on aggregate. Like, they just stuffed us. Just absolutely tanked us. And just kept pouring it on. Felt horrible.
Yeah.
So we go to the San Siro. And it's a good Milan team as well. They've still.
I was going to say, I bet they've still got a few.
They've kept hold of all their really good players. They've built quite a decent side. They've built around your Rafa Leao's and your, weirdly enough, Christian Pulisic's, who I still hate to admit that is getting better at football the older he gets.
Yeah,
but they've kept hold of them all. They've got Nkunku is there. Like they've got like Trevor Chalobah on loan just to like bolster up their defence. Yeah. It's a really, really good. Mike Mignon's still there. Mainan in goal. We lost 2-1 at the San Siro. Oh. We lost 2-1. It could have been more. We were just off it. It was a Chalobah own goal that kind of dragged one back for us. Everybody was off the pace. One of those inexplicable games. It reminded. I was having flashbacks to the final game of season 1, where we just needed to win against a team that were 15th in the league, and we've got the full starting 11 out, and they just act like they've never kicked a football before. And
it's a really weird thing that happens in FM, horrible. And I don't. Again, I think I had a similar. I think I had a similar thing in the build-up to the Libertadores. There was we lost our first game 2-0 or something like that. Yeah, it's it's such a. I don't know if it's a. I'm imagining it's something to do with the big relishing big matches thing. Which I imagine you put obviously you'd had the players for a while and they'd not been in a competition like or something as big air quotes as that. So it might not have been as apparent, but there might have been a few people in the starting lineup. Noticeably, go back if you've got any defenders that are like that. They might have gone, oh, this lad doesn't like a big game, and then all of a sudden, that's when the defenses starts being leaky in a semi-final before and it's your most important game. Yeah,
this is it.
Tough.
And that's exactly where we landed. It's one of the things, actually, that I made a mental note of. I was watching TJ last night, and he was kind of doing his end-of-season transfers and bits and bobs and looking at players. And one of the first things he goes to when he's looking at players is those player traits. I don't tend to look at them as much. But when he's describing a player, he's like, they've got this, they've got this attribute here, but they're also selfish. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And it then gets you thinking, doesn't it? Oh, what is it about this player that, maybe not. So it's something, I made a mental note of it last night to pay a bit more attention to that side of things when I'm signing players or setting up for a big fixture like that.
It's so much more important than we maybe give it credit for. Every now and again, there's a personality in the game that you can forgive a little bit. I think there was someone sent me a website once that had got like, these are the best ones, these are the worst ones, these are the medium ones. And sometimes the worst personalities can be all right, like a fickle striker. It's kind of like, cool, he wants to move on and he wants the best thing. But sometimes that can be really beneficial because they've got that sort of arrogance as a striker, so they want to score all the goals. And yeah, the biggest, like the ones that always stand out as huge, big like red flags for me: susceptible to injuries, doesn't like big matches or any variation. I like, sometimes you see like dreads big match and it's like, I'm trying to win trophies here. You're no good to me. Yeah,
exactly.
Terrifying.
Exactly that. It's not good. I need to pay more attention to it, and I think it's one of those things that moving forwards, it's going to be at the forefront of my mind for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those inexplicable things. And considering at that point, so we lose that game, and that is on the 27th of April, 2028. The last competitive game we'd lost, as I mentioned earlier, was on the 14th of February, 2027. So 14 months unbeaten in all competitions as well, which is just insanity. I'll be honest with you, we were so poor in the first leg, I was terrified about the second. Even though we're at home and you just know all we need to do is win. If we win on the night, we can, worst case scenario, we go to extra time, we go to penalties. But we just need to win. We start the game. And we scored. Now, considering how poor everybody was in the first leg, Leon Gergic, affectionately named Jerry, because of Parks and Rec. Big Jerry Gergic, he dropped a 6-1 stinker in the first leg. Now, I was there are a couple of injuries, which meant that normally I was rotating strikers, that I had options off the bench. I didn't have as many options, and Jerry Gergic is one of those players that, as we mentioned earlier, physically, he's fantastic. He's got really good acceleration. He's got, I think, 18 pace, 14 acceleration. And he is so good at just making late runs. And the fullbacks were picking him out. I signed a fullback called Baum because we lost Giovanna Reid to Real Madrid start of season 3. Needed to replace him. Found a fullback, and they just had this like telepath. It was almost like watching the link-up play. Danny Simpson, Riyad Mahrez, and Jamie Vardy the season Leicester won the Premier League because it just worked. And Baum and Gergic they just figured it out. He was playing these beautiful balls from deep, and
Baum and Gergic sounds like a really good law firm.
If I commit crimes, I want to be defended by Baum and Gergic.
Baum and Gergic.
Yeah. Or there are Gergic, so there's Gergic twins, so it's Gergic, and Baum. Any of those. When we inevitably start doing crime, that's what we want.
Yes.
He's 16 off the ball, 18 pace, 14 accelerations. They just had this, like, he would just hoof the ball down, would just play it from deep into a bit of space, and Gergic would just get there. And he was assisting or he was scoring. It was phenomenal.
Was that something you'd consciously set on the tactic, like for him to do certain balls, or it was a passing to space thing, or he just did it?
I didn't have passing into space on, but at the same time, I'm getting a lot of joy of the poacher this year.
Yeah.
And that's what I had Gergic. Gergic was just set to poach. Because in my head, when I think poacher, if you think about your typical poacher archetype in football, perfect example, 2015-16 Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. He's not there to do the dirty work. He's not there to necessarily track back. He's just there to run really, really quickly, break the back line, and score. And that's what Gergic was doing. It just kept happening, and it was fantastic. Because that's what he's running from deep, getting on the shoulder of the last man at pace, at full speed, and just blitzing them. he's too good to not. If he's fit, you've got to have him on the pitch because it's
Sure.
going to happen at least once or twice a game.
Yeah.
He scored early. He scored 17 minutes in. So on aggregate, it's 2-2, 1-0 all night. Big Francolino, minutes before half time, makes it 2-0. I'm giddy. I'm very, very excited because at this point, they hadn't had a sniff. Like Milan just, very much like we struggled in the first leg, they struggled the way that we did in the second. They didn't have a sniff. And then second half, time just keeps ticking down. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. There are very few highlights, which I'm delighted about. Because if I see a highlight, there's a chance I'm going to concede. It's not going to happen when the tablet's up. You're golden. And I just waited, and I waited, and I waited. Milan were doing nothing. They weren't they weren't creating. They were just, we were attacking. Minion would make a save. Ball would end back with the keeper. He was knocking it long. The centre-backs were dealing with it, and then we were just building and building it. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted the team to do. Worth pointing out here, I'm playing like a narrow 4-1-2-1-2. We know how good wingers are because of the Brighton Women's Challenge early access. The wingers were the best part of it for me. Did without them. Everything was narrow, nice passing, bit of patience, create chances. Everyone's happy. 5 minutes before the end of the game, there hasn't been a highlight. I'm like, I think we've made it to the final. I think we've done it. Highlight pops up. The LeBron James of soccer, Christian Pulisic, just has the ball on the halfway line, and then he just dribbles forward. Nobody really closes him down.
Because they don't, this FM.
Suddenly, I know it's weird, isn't it? Suddenly the defence go, oh no, Christian Pulisic has the ball. We should probably press him. So people start advancing to press him. He has nowhere to go. He's got no options around him. So all he can do is shoot. 25, maybe 30 yards out. And then he just puts it in the stanchion from 25, 30 yards.
Oh, that's brutal.
Like, I was heartbroken because it was their, I think in hindsight, their only attacking highlight of the first 90.
Yeah.
Nothing
Savage.
else. I'm like, that. Part of you goes, well, if I'm going to concede a goal, it might as well be one like that.
Yeah.
But then concede that goal when you're 5-0 up in a league game and it doesn't matter. Like, oh, well done. You've scored a really, really good goal at the end of the game. Congratulations. Aren't we all very, very proud?
Credit given where it's due. Lovely effort.
I'd golf clap from the touchline. Of course I would.
Yeah.
Because I'm only human. Not in a European semi-final, though, to bring it back to 3-3 on aggregate with minutes to go. I was despondent. I was like, 'cause they're going to do it again. They're very clearly going to do it again.
Yeah, it feels a bit obvious and maybe a bit cliche to say, but it's such an FM thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get that, like again, I'm referencing my Libertadores final, but literally it was like we scored a goal and they scored a goal. Oh, of course they did. We scored a goal and they scored a goal, and then nothing happens, and then they get that final highlight again, and you're like, no, don't do it to me. And then they do it to you, and you're like, good. We're in that mood today. Are we? FM?
Like, it's just written in the stars, isn't it? It's just you can feel it deep down inside. You can feel it in your sternum that there's going to be some nonsense. Fortunately, we made it to full time.
Okay.
Well, end of 90. Obviously, extra time. We go to extra time. First half of extra time, nothing happens. Second half of extra time, and we've done all the changes. We've switched everything up. Like everybody, we've replaced like for like because we can do that because we've got the deep enough bench to be able to do it. Make all the replacements, all the substitutions. Second half of extra time, nothing happens. So it's penalties. Because of course it's penalties. Vendy, I have touched so much wood since the start of FM26.
Sure.
In a hypothetical context,
yeah,
lads, Because I have been very fortunate in terms of my overall FM26 experience. I haven't experienced too many of the bugs or the crashes or the glitches or any of the horribleness. Penalty shootout. I pick the players. I give my team talk. I press continue. All I can see is a bird's eye view of the centre circle. I'm like, I need to. Let's just the camera angle, because again, I know. For example, Callum, I know was always one for this. Change it to behind the goal for the penalties because it feels more. You do the same thing. Feels more real, doesn't it? Change the camera. Nothing happens. Oh no.
Yeah.
I've got the horrible. I don't know why. I've got the penalty glitch where the game the game is still going, but the game is also not going.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Nope, nothing is happening. You can press spacebar as many times as you like. Change your camera angles. Obviously, there's
I think that it might be the worst glitch.
It's horrible.
From this game. It is the worst one.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, it's the first, and again, we are now in late February. Game's been out now for 4 months. It's the first one I've experienced, but it couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Yeah, really couldn't.
I was so upset because there is a way around it. There is a fix, but it's horrible. Penalty shootouts are a lottery at the best of times anyway. But the only way to fix this glitch, if you experience this, dear listener, you can get around it. All you have to do is open up the settings and click instant result.
It's such a cruel way to resolve it as well, because then it is literally you think like in real life Jurgen Klopp turned around for penalties. You've not turned around here. You've left the stadium. You've got in your car and you're driving home.
Yeah, exactly. I'll listen to it on the radio. I'll watch it on Match of the Day when I get home. Yeah. That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. So we had to instant result. We had to instant result the penalty shootout. And as I'm clicking it, in my head, I'm thinking this could be the end of the save. Because if we go out here, A, I had absolutely no hand in it.
Yep.
And then B, how do I, because of the league was going so well, at this point the league is practically wrapped up. Like it's almost impossible, not completely impossible, but nearly impossible for us to lose the league. I'm thinking, well, it's going to take me years to get this squad to a Champions League level.
Yeah, and it's also such a emotional and momentum killing thing to happen.
Oh, it's horrid.
Like all of a sudden it's like, great, so I got knocked out of a competition, something that wasn't my fault. Awesome, great.
Yeah,
I'm not playing this save anymore because you're angry at it, and it can happen.
It's tarnished, isn't it? It's horrible. So I'm clicking it, and this is it. I'm thinking like, how do I? Because this just turns into then a one club save, because I will absolutely contend for the league title every season, but it's going to take me years to get this team to Champions League winning standards. It's just. And I want to move, at some point, I want to leave Feyenoord behind. I want to move on. I want to go to a club from Liverpool or a club from Rome or a club from anywhere and do something else.
I need to go somewhere, please.
Yeah, game. It's really weird that I have to prefix like anywhere with 2 actual places. Listen, these are my only 3 options, lads. I've got Liverpool, I've got Rome, or literally anywhere. Like, it's all I've got available to me.
Yeah, anywhere else.
Yes. Literally anywhere.
You have to go to these 2 places, but everywhere else is allowed in between.
Oh, the world is my oyster, and I bloody hate oysters. Oh, I'm allergic to shellfish. Devastated. I was so apprehensive to click instant result. Because it's all there. It's all going through it, and especially doing it on stream in front of people. You don't want to be that despondent. You don't want to be the miserable person playing FM. But at the same time, I
think everyone would forgive you if you were.
It was very much reality. In my head, I'm thinking, do I play the semi-final again? And then whatever happens. If I'd lost 3-0, if I'd lost 3-0, I'm out the cup. I'm sad, but that's on me. I've mismanaged a European semi-final. So do I play it again? Do I just make my peace with it? But I didn't know. Didn't matter because we won the penalty shootout. It was all fine. Everything was okay.
Go on.
A perfect penalty shootout, might I add. Absolutely fantastic. We made it to the final. We made it to the European final.
Nice.
I love things going full circle. I love a start and I love an end to a story. Our European story went completely full circle because if you remember, I mentioned the first game of the Europa League was Lille. Mm-hmm. The last game of the Europa League was also Lille.
Oh, what a lovely set of bookends.
Lovely little bit of storytelling there. I was giddy as a goose. I was already planning out how to rotate the squad for the remaining league fixtures as well because we had 3 league games left to play. We needed a point from the last 3 games to win the title.
Yeah, fine.
Wrapped it up next game. Go ahead Eagles, easy peasy, beat them 2-1. I'm like, right, so I've played the first team in the Europa, I've played the reserves against Go Ahead Eagles. All I've got now is I've got FC Twente, Steve McLaren's FC Twente, and then I've got Hercules. I play the starters against Twente, I play the reserves against Hercules, and then the first 11 is fit for the final.
Do you mean Heracles?
Yeah. In my head, it's just Eddie Murphy.
Oh, no, I would read it as Hercules as well.
Hercules.
I was thinking, I'm sure there's a Spanish team called Hercules.
No, it's Heracles, Phil, Anselmo, as is my understanding of the English language.
Hercules, Phil, Anselmo. What a
they play.
Group.
You know them. They play in the Carlos Valderrama National League. They're great. Lovely stuff. Heracles, goodness me, words are hard. At this point, now I'm very conscious that the perfect season is off because we lost that game against Milan. But the chance to go undefeated in the league is still on with 2 games to go. We've just got to beat FC Twente and then Heracles, and then we're done. Just don't lose to either of them, and we're golden. So we lost 3-0 to FC Twente, who scored.
Again, it's so unnecessary of the game.
It didn't have to happen. And again, we were and this is the starting 11. These are the 11 that are going to be, generally speaking, starting in the Europa League final.
Yeah.
And they just got absolutely tanked. In fairness, somebody came in at this point and somebody came into chat, and I do apologise, I forget their name, and it was somebody who hadn't been in before. They were like, "What's the goal of the save?" As FC Twente scored their 3rd, where one of their players picked it up inside their own half, dribbled past 4 of my players, and then just stuck it top bins from 20 yards. And I was like, that one, that's the goal of the save. It's not going to get any better than that. So I lost, the perfect season's off. And, we beat Heracles 5-0 last game of the season. Everyone's happy. Another trophy lift. Hooray! Everyone's delighted. Europa League final time, D. It's time for the Europa League final. Literally, the game that I've hyped up in my head enough that this is the game that the save now depends on, because we have to win. We have to win. Now, bearing in mind, we'd beaten Lille in the opening game. I think it was 3-1. I think we beat them 3-1 at home. So I know that there is the potential for us to do very, very well here. Then I started really analysing their team. I was like, oh, actually, Lille are really good. Lille have got some fantastic players in their squad. This could be difficult. I've got pretty much the full starting 11, the perfect starting 11 available to me. No issues, no injuries, no major injuries. Everything's okay. Game starts, very tense. No highlights at doors. Nothing's really happening. 20 minutes in, we get a corner. I still don't think I've scored a direct goal from a corner at this FM at this point. Now, I know I tweaked my corner tactic midway through season 3 of the save, because I was whipping balls in towards the near post, and it took me 2.5 seasons to realise that I didn't have anybody attacking the near post from corners. I was like, tell you what, the first man seems to win a lot of these headers, and I'm watching, because there's nobody going up with them. Oh, no, this doesn't seem right. I turn around, my set piece coach just chewing toilet paper behind me, I don't know what's wrong. It doesn't seem to be working.
I read the sheet. That's what you told me to do.
So I switched it up. So I've got my biggest lads, shockingly enough, attacking the near post from the headers.
That makes sense.
He goes up. It's a lad called, again, one of these centre-backs. His name is Juma Bar. I think he starts the game at Man City. I loaned him from Man City. I don't know if they've bought him and he's just a phenomenal prospect. But he is 6'5", and his lowest physical attribute across all of them, from acceleration all the way down to strength, his lowest physical attribute is a 15.
That's
Man's
good.
Unit.
Yeah, that's really good.
Phenomenally good. Oh my goodness gracious me, he's quite good at football.
That's really good.
Up he goes, challenges for the header, loses it to somebody I checked after the game, 6 inches shorter than him.
Brilliant.
But falls back out to Semstein, the corner taker, gets his head up, pings the ball into the box. Luka Toplivic is there, D. Luka Toplivic is there in the area.
Again, I like how there's little full circle moments here.
They really are. And Luka Toplivic just puts it in the top corner. And I am a giddy goose. I am quite excited.
Of course you are, it's your son.
Yeah, exactly. My massive adult son has scored quite an important goal. My big Slovenian boy. Isn't he good? Yeah, he put it top corner. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling very, very confident about how this game is going to work out. I think there were probably 2 more highlights the entire game. Nothing happened.
Nothing else.
Literally
Perfect
nothing
final.
happened. So bloody did it, D. We won the Europa League, and
That's
I
wonderful
was
news.
very, very excited. I was
I
over the moon. Over the moon, mate. It felt like the culmination of a lot of panicking, a lot of struggle,
Yeah.
but you know how these things can go in FM, and
Absolutely.
bearing in mind the long-term future of the save, it was something that I think needed to happen. So we won the Europa League. Everyone's delighted. Parties in the streets of Rotterdam. What's the sensible thing to do in that situation, D?
Oh, what would I do? I would. I'd go down. I would have gone downstairs and got myself a slice of cake. That's what I would have done.
Seems like the thing to do. I mean, in a fictional manager context, I would kind of double down on the terrifying Christmas party embarrassment, where you think to yourself, "Oh God, I can't go back into work tomorrow." I like to think that my fictional manager partied so hard and made such a fool of himself, he had to resign from his job the next day, because that's what happened, and I was very, very sad about it. I didn't want to. Because I said it a lot, and I know you have, as somebody who has journeymaned a lot over the last few FMs, you must have fallen in love with a team or two along the way.
Yeah. Every journeyman,
does.
there's 1 or 2 teams, but again, the more teams there are, you fall in love with a few of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Bastards, SC Bastia in France, and the Ibiza boys as well.
Yeah. They're too,
Great
almost
times.
too good to leave behind.
Yeah.
But I had to. I did do a little save of the save before I quit, just so I can keep messing about and tinkering offline. But I handed in my resignation. They begged me to stay, which I've never seen before. Normally, like all the way through FN24, what's the story? Do your thing, accomplish your dreams, you resign. They go, cheers for that. Thanks.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.
Off you go. Off you
Like
go.
you fit
And
in
then
a kitchen.
Yeah, they're like, please don't go. You can have whatever you like. Please stay. And I was like, no, time's up. Time's up. So I left. Added loads of new leagues into the safety. Added loads of fun countries that it might have been good to visit. I thought, oh, this will do. Because ideally, at this stage, for context, Liverpool or Rome, it's Liverpool or Rome with a few exceptions and caveats.
Sure.
Because Liverpool men's, the men's Liverpool team, I don't know if you're aware of it, they're quite good, D. Quite a good
I'd heard
team.
it through the grapevine. They were relatively good at football.
They're all right. They've got, a couple of players in there that you might be able to do something with. Or you could also make the argument, one of the best squads in world football on the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely weighted more towards instant success as opposed to plucky try
Yeah.
and yeah.
Feels
So
a bit trite just to go and manage one of the best teams in the game.
I think because I've had this thought in my save. I think if they'd offered you the job, it's a different thing. Because because I've said, like, for the top 5 European leagues in my save, is like, I'm not going to apply for Chelsea, Man City, or Bayern or whoever. But if I retire and the job is available there and they offer me the job, that's a different thing because they've come to me. I've not gone to them. So so I think, like, in your save, like, if Liverpool had said, we want you to be our manager, here's 250 million quid, go spend it, it'd be very reasonable for you to go, yeah, all right then.
It could be a goer because I've got I need to bring my massive Slovenian son with me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
exactly.
You got to
Come
make
on,
room in the
Luca.
squeeze. Sell that Soboslai guy, whatever his name is.
Dominic
Top
Sausages.
production. Yeah,
Get out. Get
absolutely
out.
no good.
No, terrible.
Yeah,
terrible
understandable
business.
though that you kind of,
Swerve
say
away
Liverpool
from it
are an
slightly.
avoidable one. Yeah,
Yes. Also, Lazio for probably more obvious reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
unless you politically align that way.
Yeah,
Probably not the best team to pick,
fill,
is it?
fill your boots, live your life. So, in terms of clubs from Liverpool and Rome, it's basically Everton, or alternatively, the women's
sides,
Liverpool or Everton sides. Perfect. Rome, it's Roma or Roma women's. I'd be happy with any of those as sets of circumstances.
One thing I was going to say, which I remember seeing on your stream, which I thought was lovely, because just a little rewind of time. Obviously, there's a football player in real life that you are a very big fan of who recently left your team, which was sad. We lost Baz Bannon, and I don't know if you've gotten over that yet, if you've moved on, or if it still hurts every day.
No. Sometimes people say you get used to the pain. No, they're lies. It gets worse on a daily basis.
Yeah, but I loved seeing in your universe when you left, he left.
He did,
and then he got a job.
He did. Yes, he's now managing in the second tier of Dutch football, which is very
sick.
exciting for him.
So
yeah,
cool.
He came in as a completely unqualified youth coach. Like,
Yeah,
what are you going to coach him, Barry?
Nepotism at its finest.
Yeah, I'm terrible, mate. What are you talking about? I was like, oh, you're in, sold. Same with permanently injured Sam Hutchinson. We had him at the Wednesday for quite a few years. He was in Chelsea's academy in real life, and then I think he had an absolutely career-ending leg break or something. So, awful injury. Had to retire from the sport, but then came back. And then we had him at the Wednesday for years. And then he went to Cyprus. Then he came back, which I really, really enjoyed. But in one of my Wednesday saves, he retired. And then he just wanted to be a fitness coach. I'm like, I think he had a rating of 1, maybe a 2. I was like, straight in, Sam. Straight in.
Go on, lad.
Yeah. Not with the kid. First team, mate. First team. You'll figure this out. It's just there in a
We'll get you
doctor's
your coaching
outfit.
badges, don't worry, buddy.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Just with the stethoscope on, a broken leg, so I can't hear anything. I think it's fine. Yeah, love a bit of nepotism. So yeah, that was a lovely moment, going full circle, bringing Barry in, hearing very little from him for 18 months, and he just gets a manager's job. It was even one of those where I was like, "Oh, don't go, but if you do go, I'll understand." And he was dead nice about it.
Yeah.
So Barry left the club. I left the club. We holidayed for a little while, and we just waited. I got offered 2 jobs in Italy, but neither of them were Roma. I got offered Juve and
Is that
Milan.
a potential rule is that a rule that you've set as well? Is that you can't manage other teams in those in England? So you have to be those ones.
Yes. So if I'm going to manage in England, it has to be Liverpool women's, Everton women's, or Everton men's, and same in Italy. So if it's Italy, it's Roma. I won't take other jobs in the same countries while we're waiting. But, we've added all the other leagues in, and we're just keeping an eye on the available jobs. And we holidayed, went till Christmas, nothing much doing. And then we holidayed a little bit more. And I was like, well, let's have a look at the league table, see how things are. Looked at Serie A. Roma are doing exactly what you expect Roma to do. They're kind of between fourth.
European spots, right? Yeah.
European spots, absolutely fine. Not pulling
Yeah.
up trees, but doing well enough to not put the manager under any pressure. Everton, on the other hand, are about 14th. I'm like, oh, this could be one to keep a little eye on. We holiday another month. They've dropped to 15th. And then they've dropped to 16th. And then they go from everything being fine to suddenly the manager, who was a pretend manager. It wasn't. It was a new gen manager. It wasn't even a real human being.
Oh, what's the point?
I know. Ugh, gross. Managed by a computer. Disgusting. He was insecure in his job, so I immediately declared interest.
I remember being there and just saying, unsettle him. Unsettle that job.
Unsettled him immediately. And it worked really well because they sacked him the next day.
It's one of my favourite things in the game.
Oh, I was a giddy goose. I was so excited. I was like, hey, this would be the smoothest transition. Because I remember, like, you've done Scandi Triple Crown challenges yourself.
Yeah.
I always found the hardest part of any Scandi Triple Crown was going from, like, you start Norway to Sweden, generally okay. Sweden to Denmark, years
Ridiculous.
in some cases.
Yeah.
Years and years.
I had
and
to
years
choose
waiting for
I had
jobs
to be a second tier side.
Wow. Yeah, it's mad. Like, just
I won
no jobs
the
were coming
league.
up.
I won the league and then won the league, which was great. But
Scandinavia, innit? Easy.
Miss Scandinavia in it.
Yep.
Or back
Yeah,
to this
but
side.
Everton comes up, and I was like, great, let's have a conversation. And during the interview, I was quite normally, I think because I will always remember Benfica from last year. Not getting the Benfica job really unsettled me as a person. Because normally I'll click whatever I want to click, and because I'm mint, they will give me the job and everything will be fine. And because they turned me down for BTEC Pedro Pascal, I was like, now I have to start clicking on the things they want me to click. There we go, using a bit of this. I was a bit cocky with Everton. I was like, my standing in the game tells you everything you need to know about me. It's like, you've never managed in this country before. I know, but I speak the language. Look at me go. I'm doing
But
it
I am
right
from
now.
here.
I am local.
Did you not?
My wife's family live in Prescott, and that's quite close by. I recently frequented a hotel mere minutes from your stadium, and they quite liked it. And all the way through this interview, I'm thinking this is going really, really well. Then D came what, in hindsight, I should have paid a bit more attention to.
Should have been the
As a
biggest
bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
Less of a red flag, more of, imagine, if you will, D, something I've often dreamt of as somebody who's tried and failed at music many times. You're playing on the main stage at Glastonbury, and you look out across the crowd. Everybody's waving a flag. They're all bright red in this situation. You're thinking, that's weird. Must have been a sail on. This is who saw
What a
that
weird
coming?
coincidence. So many red
Bizarre,
flags.
isn't it? That's a lot of red flags that I'm suddenly noticing. I saw one, and in hindsight, it was many, because they offered me a transfer budget, D, for a Premier League team of £370,000.
Yeah, that
And
is
I
an
thought,
alarmingly small number
it's
for
a
a Premier
very
League team.
small amount of money, isn't it? It's a very, very small amount of money. And I just went, sure, that'll be fine. Assuming that they had
Maybe they'd spent money, yeah.
Exactly. They'd spent ostentatiously in the summer, and they had, very much like Ian Beale, nothing left. Fine. And they're like, here's your wage budget. And the wage budget was like £2.5 million a week. And I'm like, my goodness gracious me, that's exponentially more than I would ever need with my old club, because I will maintain this D. I'm very proud of the fact that I did all those things for Firewood, maintaining a very, very sensible wage structure. I think my highest paid player was on £32,000 a week.
That's incredible, by the way.
Stand by that. Like, it's ruined. It ruined so many potential transfers, but stand by it. I think £2.5 million a week, I'm golden. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. Say all the right things. Agree to everything. Yep, everything's fine. A couple of days later, D, they offer me the job. I get the job offer.
Beautiful.
Right, yes, bloody please. This has been the easiest transition from club to club I think I've ever experienced in the context of a save where I have to go. I've got specific destinations in mind. One of them being anywhere, but there were no good jobs anywhere else. And I'm like, right, let's go. So we load in, and bearing it at this point, I think it's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, because streaming.
It was
people
quite
in.
late.
It was a late old night for me, and I'm having a great time with friends. And we load in, and I start to have a little dig around under the hood, and I start to look at some things, and I'm looking at my squad, and I'm thinking, okay, off the bat. On paper, there are some great names here. Jordan Pickford is still kicking around, and apparently he's a world-class goalkeeper. I rate Jordan Pickford very, very highly in real life, and I enjoy him on Football Manager as well. You've got the likes, I'm looking through, and Tyler Dibbling. He's a very, very good young footballer in real. He's still there, and he's looking phenomenally good. We've got... James Gardner still looks great. Nathan Patterson looks amazing. They've signed this young lad called Ryan Flamingo. Great name, by the way.
Love that signing.
Love that name. It's like he's come in from, I want to say, did he come from AZ Alkmaar? Possibly. No, PSV, sorry. So I'd come up against him a couple of times already in the save, and he's decent. I'm like, okay, there's the bones of something here. We could make this work. Then, D, I decided to have a little look at the financial situation of the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I was there when that happened.
You were there when that happened. That was a moment, because in my naivety,
well, first of all, what was their bank balance when you joined?
In terms of the yes,
just the bank balance.
Oh goodness me, it was not great. Not particularly great.
I think I remember seeing it was minus umpty million, something like it was almost 100 million. I'm sure it was up in that echelon as you joined.
Yes. So the bank balance was, I think it was something like minus 95 million pounds in the red, which doesn't bode particularly well.
No, that's never a fun moment.
No, never a fun moment. So we're quite significantly in the mud financially.
What was the wage bill?
The wage bill.
I want to go around these one by one.
I think the wage bill we were close to around 200, maybe 250k a week over the wage budget. Again, not ideal.
Not the best.
No, and they're one of these clubs, like everybody is on a fair old whack, but there aren't many that are on silly money.
Yeah,
it's
just
not
a
like
lot of people.
There's just a lot of players at the club.
High-ish money.
Very high money. Now, the only saving grace I had in that capacity is that the FFP, I'm compliant somehow.
Nice.
I assume when they ask for the files, we just write down they're all okay on a piece of paper and slide them over the table, and they go, "Oh, this is all okay. Congratulations."
Why would everyone lie to us?
Well done, everybody. My debts and loans. My remaining debt.
Well, hold on. What was the original debt? Because it says both, doesn't it?
It says both. The original debt. The original debt was a mere drop in the ocean, dear boy. £386 million.
Which I think we've both sort of thought about it. It's probably to do with the new stadium.
You assume stadium. You assume stadium, don't you? The remaining debt.
Come on.
Was £890 million.
That's so much money.
That's so much money. Like that's
Do you remember? I think it was the start of FM24. Barcelona were in like loot. They were like in £1 billion of debt, and everyone was like, "That's impossible to sort of clear." You're living that. That's almost £1 billion.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
That is a bad season, and then you are at £1 billion. Because in the Premier League, like the amount of money it just costs, you can easily lose 100 million in a season.
It's obscene. Running a Premier League football club, as it turns out, is not particularly financially viable, especially if you're called Everton.
Yeah.
I've heard Goodison was a really nice stadium. Just stay there. Yeah, just hang out there for a bit.
Could have saved loads of money.
So yeah, we've got no money. We are entitled to very little of the incoming transfer money from incoming transfers.
As is the nature of debt.
As is the nature of debt on Football Manager. And I immediately started panicking because I got horrible flashbacks to my time at Juventus on FM24, where the finances were so tight, and then my director of football ruined everything the day before his contract expired by offering somebody 135 grand a week when we couldn't afford it and tanking the club's finances.
Yeah.
So I spent the next kind of half an hour or so on Saturday night, early hours of Sunday morning, panicking and trying to figure out where I can just start getting rid of money and trying to recoup something. In terms of the highest earners at the club, we had the likes of Jordan Pickford, who's on 165 grand a week, which is a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Ryan Flamingo is on 110, but he is arguably the best player at the club.
Yeah. His name's Ryan. His name's Flamingo.
Ryan
you
Flamingo.
Can't sell him.
Give the man 120. The wedding venue, D.
Ooh.
Kieran Dewsbury Hall is on 100 bags a week. For some reason. Scandalous. And then you've got the likes of Jared Branthwaite. They're on about 135. Tyler Dibbling's on 99 for some reason. Give him 100. Don't be silly. James Gardner. Ansu Fati, who they signed after loaning him the season before. Attribute-wise, he looks all right. But just in terms of his performances on the pitch this season, he's been woeful. But I've got all these regular starters and squad players that are all on like between 60 and 90 grand a week, which is where a big old chunk of the money is going. I also don't have a huge amount of UK nationals in my team. Dang. So in terms of in terms of squad registration, it's a bit of a minefield.
Yeah.
I played one game on stream with Everton on Saturday night just to get a bit of a feel for what I was up against. And I thought, you know what? Here's the situation. Here's the plan. We go standard 4-2-3-1. Build from there. It's a sensible formation. It's solid. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, just to try and stop the rot. Because in the run-up to that game, I take over on the 20th of January. Everton last won a game on the 9th of December. So in that month and a half.
Yeah. Well, that's what led to the sacking, right?
That's what's led to
lost,
100%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses and 1 draw.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's not looking good.
No.
And I'm away to bottom of the table Bournemouth. We all know how these go on Football Manager.
Guaranteed 3 points.
Yes.
For the opposition.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. We got steamrolled at 3-0 by Bournemouth away from home. Bottom of the table. They've still got Semenyo there, and he looked as good on FM as he currently does in real life. Absolute world beater. They made us look stupid. It just wasn't happening. The only thing I did before that game, I noticed that Beto had agreed a pre-contract with a club over in Greece, so I just sold him. I was like, get out.
Just get out, mate.
Just go.
You don't want to be here to help, just get out of it.
Not now, Beto, not now. He's just walking in the door with a bunch of flowers for us. Hello, boss, love you. Get out. Not now. So off he goes. We lose 3-0 to Bournemouth. At that point, I ended the stream because I was quite despondent. I've been tinkering in the background since, D. I've had a little bit of a tinker, because what I didn't want to do, and we were kind of having this conversation before we started recording the pod this evening, what I didn't want to do is go live again and just have a breakdown on stream, because everything is horrible.
Yeah,
because
I get it.
At face value, it is. I did it with Juventus. I hated it. I didn't like being that grumpy, and I didn't want to do it again. Didn't seem like fun, and that is what it's all about. It's about having a bit of fun, and I didn't want to.
I think with the streaming side of it as well, like you say, because you've got to, not only are you trying to play the game, you've also still got to be performing a little bit, and you're chatting with people as things are going on. It's easy to get distracted when you're doing things, and all of a sudden you accidentally don't make the right sales or sort your team out in a right way. So understandable that you'd want to be like, right, I need a couple of games, a couple of weeks in game to myself.
Exactly that, and that is what we've done. So we still had a week and a half left of transfer window. I have moved heaven and earth to try and get rid of Kieran Dewsbury Hall, because he just doesn't have a place in my team. No. I've got so many defensive midfielders, D. Yeah. I've got so many defensive midfielders. Let me list you my defensive midfield options. I have, in no particular order, I've got Mads Bidstrup, who, again, if you've done Scandi Saves, you'll know he becomes quite good.
Pretty good.
And he is pretty good. I've got James Gardner. I've got Oliver Skipp. I've got some lad called Unai Vencedor, I want to say. He's on loan from Atletico Bilbao. He's not particularly great, but I've also, apparently the previous manager agreed a future fee for him.
Brilliant.
Great.
Idiots.
Just more money. I'm hemorrhaging.
The AI is useless at transfers.
It really is poor, isn't it? I've also got, don't forget, because technically he's listed as a centre-back, but he isn't one, he kind of is, Ryan Flamingo. He can also play in that position. I've got a decent-looking youngster called Francis Gomez, who can also play in that position. Another one called Callum Bates.
Now, listeners.
Yeah. Another one called Callum Bates, who's all right. And then we've got Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
So you have 8 defensive midfielders.
Yes.
Part of me will be thinking, you need a tactic that has at least 3 DMs in it.
I think I need one that needs 5. Because goodness gracious me. And they're all kind of okay. But the problem is a lot of them are also English, and I need to register them. So I can't get rid of too many of them. I cannot get rid of Kieran Dewsbury Hall for love nor money.
Even
money would be preferable. I've transfer listed him. The AI had him valued at £25 million. I've made it a bargain at 5. True. No, it's just not true. Bargain at £5 million. What you're telling me that a central midfielder, a holding midfielder with 10 marking and 9 heading, 9 jumping reach, like 12 strength. You're telling me that he's not worth £25 million?
Yeah, he's got English tax on him.
Yeah.
He really does have English tax. He is the most English tax player I think I could think of.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, when he had a really decent run in fantasy football for Everton early this season, he was my favourite player. I was like, knight him, build him a statue. He's gone a bit rubbish since, and I'm over him. Done with him.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of him for love nor money. Steaky Bakety's Pompey came in and made an offer for him. League One Portsmouth are the only club that's interested. On loan, they were going to give me something ridiculous, like about $9,000 a month, and they weren't going to pay a penny of his wages. It's like, no.
Didn't they also, because I was on, because we just Pokemon'd, me and Steak. I remember being on a voice call with him, and we saw the saw the Portsmouth bid, not the Pokemon bid. Saw the Portsmouth bid. I mean, if there was a Pokemon bid, that would have, you'd take any Pokemon in replacement for Kieran Dewsbury Hall. It's
100%.
It's a battling animal. And he said, Portsmouth had just made a bid. And I'm sure I remember seeing there was 15 million as an optional fee. And I was like, they're never paying that.
They're not paying 15 million.
They're never paying that optional fee.
No. We've all put in, obscene optional future fees in for players to grease the wheels. But, come on.
Yeah.
Can't fool me with that. Got to get up pretty early to fool old Rich Owens, Portsmouth Football Club. Not that early. Definitely not that early. So I can't shift him for love nor money.
Dang.
I've found it to be quite difficult to move players on since arriving at the club.
I can imagine in a relegation battling side, not many of their players are crazy desirable.
No, and the ones that clubs were interested in weren't interested enough in to put in a bid. I've managed to sell 2 players, and shockingly enough, I've brought in 4.
Oh, go on then. Who are the outs?
Beto, who we've previously mentioned.
He's gone.
And against my better judgment, I had to sell Jared Branthwaite. Second highest earner at the club. Now, interestingly enough, getting rid of Beto and Jared Branthwaite got my wages back in the black. So I had a little bit of wiggle room in terms of signings, which helped.
Yeah.
Beto has gone to, is it PAOK? PAOK?
PAOK, yeah.
PAOK, thank you.
PAOK.
Over in that Greece. Jared Branthwaite has left for, I think, around £42 million with add-ons and extra little bits and pieces.
That's pretty good.
Jared Branthwaite has gone. Would you like to guess, D, where Jared Branthwaite has been sold to?
Now, just what you've told me. But
I have, yeah, I know I have.
But if you hadn't told me, part of me would be thinking something like it would happen in real life. I'm sure Man United was sniffing around in Fraser. They're always interested.
Yeah, absolutely, they were. Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, maybe he went to a Man United, maybe he went to a Tottenham, someone along those lines. Who did you sell him to?
Sold him to Feyenoord, D. Of course. Now, I'll have you know, they approached me.
Sure, of course.
They came to me. Initially they came in. I think the initial bid was £25 million. Now, thanks to my extensive inside knowledge of Feyenoord's finances and the fact that at this point in the window they'd only spent £15 million, I knew they were sat on about 70 to 80. So I asked them for about 42 with the add-ons. They came back and they said, yes. Fine. Nice. So
what wages is he on at Feyenoord? Because I'm curious, has he single-handedly ruined your wage structure?
They have nuked my wage structure. Yeah, they've absolutely
they've ruined everything.
I'm looking at the wages now. They have given pretty much my full starting 11 new contracts.
Wow.
Justin Bigelow is now on 100 grand a week.
Jesus,
Big
lads.
Frank is on 110. Luca is on 88. Louis Ben Farthat. His name's Louis Ben Farhat, but I changed it to Farthat because that's funny. Yeah. His wages have gone from about 20 grand to 60.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everybody has had, the entirety of the first team has had a new contract in some capacity.
That's ridiculous.
And it's so my carefully balanced wage structure has gone out the window.
But it's not your problem now.
It's not my problem now. Not my problem at all. Actually, you say that, D.
Oh, go on, Rich. Can I ask? Am I about to be not surprised by one signing at all? Because I'm going to ask you a very simple question, Rich.
Yeah, go on.
And I just want a single answer.
Go on.
Have you signed Luka Toplic again?
No.
Well done. Good.
Because I
Admitting
can't
we have a
afford
problem.
him.
Admitting we have a problem.
Yeah.
Is the first step in recovery.
Yes, isn't it? Only due to the fact that I didn't have the fact. So that £880 million worth of debt is actually now 1.2 billion because I have taken out so many loans. No, Luca, I'm not interested. However,
I imagine that's because he just signed a new contract.
Probably. I wouldn't even insult him with the offer.
Yeah.
Give it a few years and maybe we'll come back and we'll have a conversation. I don't know if you remember, D, in the run up to me leaving Feyenoord, I signed Harvey Barnes on a free for Feyenoord.
I do remember you signing Harvey Barnes. Again,
Yeah.
I believe I was also pivotal in that signing, Cameron, because I
were.
described him as 3-time Premier League winner.
Three-time
Once
Premier
with
League
yourself
winner.
at Man United and twice
Yeah.
with me at Newcastle.
Yep. Three-time Premier League winner Harvey Barnes. He was on trial at Feyenoord for 6 months, just hanging out, just look, you know,
Festering.
we'll have a look at something like he's got 13 long shots, 13 finishing, 15 flair, 20 vibes, and that's what he was there to do. That he was in charge of the playlist. He was just hanging out, making himself, indoctrinating himself with the
Doing the
lads.
teas.
Doing the teas. You know, he'd do the run to the corner shop for them to get some crisps. Like, just one of the boys. They were very, very happy to let me have him on loan for half his wage, which is £5,000 a week.
That's
Delighted
unbelievable.
to let me have for literally just the £5,000 a week in wages, no other finances involved.
That's beautiful.
Just take him. So I've got Harvey Barnes in on loan from Feyenoord.
That's
I've
going to solve most of your problems. So.
It will solve at least two. I've made 3 other signings, all from Feyenoord.
You've signed 4 players from your former club.
I have, because I trust them and I love them. So Louis Ben Farhat is in on loan. And frustratingly, I am covering half his wages, which is 50% more than the wages he was on when I was at the club, which is
ridiculous.
Really frustrating. So I'm giving him £30,000 a week, and he was on 20 when he played for me, and he was delighted with it. So he's come in because I need somebody. I need somebody fast that can score goals, and that is what Louis Ben Farhat did off the bench for me, or as a second choice striker, attacking midfielder. Did it for 3 years at Feyenoord. He was class. Absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
He's come in on loan. Happy days. Everyone's a winner. I needed a new centre back, and I went through. I never settled on a permanent partner for Anna Ahmedhodzic when I was at Feyenoord. It was always they were Juma Bar in on loan in the last season. Tried to buy him, wasn't interested. Just mugged me off. I spent a bit of money on like Ryan Atkala from AZ, from their youth team, because again he's got quite a high ceiling. Thought let's try and develop him. And we also signed a player at Feyenoord called Jeremy Jacket, or Jean-Claude Jacquety with his jacket off,
Love that.
because it's fun. Signed him at Feyenoord for £9.5 million, and then brought him to Everton for 10. So he is the only permanent signing. But again, he's still got the fairly high ceiling. He's got a bit of time to develop.
Yeah. If
And then we also
the Premier League and he copes, then he'll be
exactly that. And then we've also brought in one of my favourite utility midfielders from Feyenoord, Gabriel Bontempo, little Brazilian lad. Bought him season 1, and he was just he was just there, and he did well. He he wasn't a starter by any stretch of the imagination, but he was always there or thereabouts, and did a lot of the running, did a lot of the hard yards. He could pass, he could dribble. He loved a long shot, and I was like, Lord knows I need cheering up in some capacity. So he's coming on loan as well. So we've strengthened a little bit. We've tried to steady
many
it.
players from Feyenoord did you try to bring in? So obviously Luca,
Just
and those 4.
no, genuine. Hand on heart, there was no offer for Luka Toplivic because I genuinely knew he would laugh at me.
What
so
about those coot miners?
No, again, just didn't have the capacity financially. I was working with. I think after the Jared Branthwaite money came in, I think I had £7 million as a transfer budget, and I was like, they're all going to cost 10 times that. So they were all loan listed as well. Harvey, Louis, and Gabriel were all on the loan list. So I was like, let's take advantage, because if they're loan listed, I'm less likely to get the horrible 150-300 split that most clubs seem to put in by default, which because I just didn't have the ability. So they have come in. We've restructured the 4-2-3-1. So we're now kind of like a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-1-2.
So is it 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, 2 DMs?
Yeah. and then an attacking mid,
something
and two,
at the
and
front
then
of the
three
top.
other players up top trying to score goals. Because if there's one thing this team hasn't been doing, it's been scoring.
Yeah.
Like the goals have not been coming. My top goal scorer at the moment is Tyler Dibbling with 6.
Okay.
You know, that's
Nice.
You know, in terms of strike force, we've still got Tiano Barry, who on paper looks quite good. He's managed 4 in 15. Ilman NDI is still there, 3 goals. Ansu Fati has scored once.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. So
It sounds
I've
like
tried.
there's just a lack of service.
So we've brought in some proven players that I know, like Louis Ben Farhat is very quick, and he can do what Gergic did for me. He can just run from deep, break the back line. He's got 2 in 6 for me because I've played a few games just trying to steady the ship. So in terms of where we are in the table, the loss to Bournemouth, that first game we played, put us in the relegation zone, which wasn't ideal. Since then, I've played a few more games. The next game was at Old Trafford against United, and that was the first game we tried the 4-2, so 3-4-2-1, went defensive, and we won 0-0, which was incredible.
You won. That is a win. Yeah.
It's a great win. Respect the bloody point. And at that point, I went, "Oh, this is going to be absolutely fine now. This is going to be absolutely fine." We then had the Villa over. I overcame the Villa. They popped over to the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and we beat them 1-1. Was delighted, absolutely delighted. That was great. Brentford next. Brentford, who are also relegation candidates. We beat them, but we actually beat them. We beat them 3-2.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. By the way, Louis Ben Farhat, 93rd minute winner. There were lip. Honestly, I went the full Kermit. It's fantastic. I was delighted.
Absolute limbs at home.
Exactly. Nottingham Forest away from home at the City Ground, another relegation candidate. We beat them 2-0. We actually beat them, which is lovely stuff. And then we've lost to Wolves, we drew with Fulham, and then we lost 2-1 to Chelsea. So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mixed bag.
You've got points in there, and I think that's good for helping momentum for you.
This is it. From those games, so that's since we've done it properly, we've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and we've taken 8 points, which isn't bad.
For a team that were getting relegated, that is a
For a team
huge
that were
improvement.
all but going down. I mean, at the moment, that puts us with 16th, with 8 games to go.
Yeah.
We are 2 points clear of Bournemouth in 18th. So it is tight down there at the moment.
What does your end of season run look like?
My end of season run is a little bit all over the shop. So my remaining games: Burnley, Palace, Liverpool.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
But then Norwich, who are bottom of the table, Ipswich, who are 13th, and I didn't even realise we're in the Premier League.
Yeah, in and around it.
Spurs, who I think are actually virtual Spurs, they're 5th, so it is what it is. And then Brighton and West Ham. So there are points to be won in this run, Indy.
I feel like you could beat 3 or 4 of those teams.
I think Burnley, Norwich, and Ipswich, there is a chance for 3 points.
Yeah.
I think Palace, Brighton, and West Ham, I'll take a point at all of those, and I know I'm going to get absolutely knobbed by Liverpool and Spurs. I know it's going to happen. Yeah. But there is the potential, and if we stay up, then we start to rebuild. Yeah. That's what I'm looking at now.
The factory reset.
This season doesn't count. In terms of, I will get rid of Kieran Dewsbury Hall. I will start to get rid of some of the players that are wanted by clubs who just won't put bids in. Players like, I'm looking at the likes of Ilman NDI. I've really don't want Ansu Fati because he's just been so poor whenever he's played. There's work to be done.
There's potential to sell people.
There is potential to sell. I don't know what my budgets are going to be like because every year Everton have spent. They've spent money every single season. So there will always be some kind of money there. I just need to be a little bit more sensible about how it's spent than the AI managers have been for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a little bit of shopping in South America, a couple of trips over to the Balkans.
Very much
Scandinavia
so.
will be your best friend.
Just before we started recording tonight, the last thing I did, because we've got the NXT 50 come through, and I've scouted every single player on it, which
Very
I'm
smart
very
choice.
shockingly enough, and this is the last thing I thought I will say about the save, I had 2 phenomenal youth intakes at Feyenoord. Seasons 2 and 3, my youth intakes were exceptional. Not a single one of those players was listed. The other fun thing that I've started doing as well, which is something that I would encourage everybody else to do, I am notorious for forgetting about my youth players. I'm genuinely awful when it comes to trying to remember who they are, why I should be playing them. Like, I am truly rotten at it. So I've come up with a foolproof system, a foolproof system. What I have started to do, and I encourage everybody else to do this, is I've started renaming my youth players, because if I just see their names, if I just see a Dutch name, I'm like, I'm looking at here, Michael van der Graaf. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Who's Michael van der Graaf?
Some people might pop a little asterisk next to
Some
their
people
name
put a
and be
little
like,
yes.
that's how I'll remember that's someone that's worth keeping an eye on.
Or they put a little note on the player, so they have the little yellow box next to them when you see them on display.
Absolutely.
Or you can do what I've done, D, and you can rename them after players from the Key and Peele East-West Bowl sketches. So, you know,
what a fabulous use of time.
It really, really was. It really was. I will argue to the hilt that I think moving forwards, I think Dar Historius Lamastorius, De Glester Har Duncanchud, and Le Carpetron Duke Marriott are going to be 3 of the best players in world football.
I hope they are.
Yeah,
to help the bit become full circle again.
I think, you know, the Jinklage Margoon in goal.
Did you make this decision around the time we were talking about?
Yes, I did. That's exactly what I did. Yes,
I was talking about how I like having, like, if you've got a set of here we go. We're going off the rails finally.
Hello.
You know,
I think we've done really well to keep it on.
We've done very well.
Brilliantly.
If you have a selection of pets, let's say if you're someone who had, like, I don't know, 4 chickens, name them John, Paul, Ringo, and RoboCop.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Which then led to, you thought of a better way of naming, what would be a better name for your pets, would be the people from the East-West sketches of Key and Peele.
Yes.
And then you wrote a parody song. I'm not the only songwriter in the FM scene anymore.
You say that songwriting is doing a lot of heavy lifting. But again, what I then did is, because we talked about RoboCop and then D mocked up the cover of Let It Be with RoboCop on it.
Let It Be or There Will Be Trouble is what that album is called now.
Exactly. I then started playing Come Together and then trying to stick RoboCop quotes into the lyrics. What I've now realised is that in terms of syllables and structure, Bismo Funyun's Fudge Squeeps Donkey Teeth works perfectly as the chorus to Come Together by the Beatles.
And it works. It makes sense with the song, the nonsense they talk about.
Exactly. So again, they were in my head, and I was like, how could I be more sensitive to the needs of my youth players? It's all come together beautifully.
Merge the
ideas. It's all come together beautifully. Honestly, like De Glester Har Duncanchud had a run in the first team in the at the tail end of the season. He scored. I was delighted for him. Like,
nice.
He's a 6'4", like left back / midfielder,
machine.
And left back / central midfielder. He's going to be one of the best to ever do it. Honestly, I'm very excited for his future. So that's how you do it. So all I'm saying is, look out, Leicester. No.
Look out,
Everton.
Leicester.
Look at, just in general, Leicester.
Yeah,
Look at, your
yeah.
parking is obscenely expensive, Leicester. Sort it out, or I'm coming for you.
As a podcast, we collectively object to you. And
Yes,
if you carry on this way, we will encourage no one to visit.
we will. We have very little say in it, but we'll still encourage people to not go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, look out, Everton, because next season it could be the meteoric rise of De Gleaster Duncan or Le Carpenter on Duke Marriott. I'm just saying there is potential for them.
I hope that they do
join.
become as good as you want them to.
I will be devastated if they don't, because the attributes are all there for them. Genuinely, they are all there, ready for them to take over the world. I mean, look, I'm looking here. De Gleaster Duncan, even though I know who he is, because I've moved to a new club, apparently I've forgotten because I don't have a full scout report on him. But the man's got, he's got 14 technique, 16 tackling, 12 passing, 11 first touch. Bearing in mind, he's just turned 16.
That's
he's got
really good.
19 bravery, 15 determination, 14 decision making, 15 flair. Make that make sense.
I bet his value's solid.
He's only worth between 14.5 and 18 million pounds. But again, he is a 16-year-old.
But that's about the price you'd probably be thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Now, he is fickle. I will say that. That's his personality type.
What did I say earlier about personalities, Rich?
Exactly, D. So, thinking to be done, isn't it? Thinking to be done. So, look, is the plan sign all of these players for Everton? Yes, it is. Is the plan eventually try and sign Luka Toplivic for Everton? Yes, it is.
I mean, realistically, what I feel like is going to happen, Rich, is purely for the bit. You will sign everyone from Feyenoord for Everton and will slowly move them all over like a patient shepherd. Just hand up to traffic. No, hang on, no, we'll get them going.
Come back.
And you just sort of go on, Fragolino, into your new home. And he wanders into the Hill Dickinson.
Exactly.
Shave his. I was going to call it fur. It's not fur. It's wool. Yeah, shave his wool off and then pop a Everton top on him and he's ready to go.
Exactly.
And then do it all again when you move to Roma.
Exactly. His pace and his acceleration drops immediately because he's got a massive plastic tag through his ear. But he's doing his best. It's inevitable, isn't it? It's inevitable. That was honestly. It's been a journey.
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. I'm really happy that, as far as your save though, Feyenoord has had it's been a very successful time with them. Like you say, 3 Dutch Cups. You did win the league. You won the Europa League. As far as because you said, obviously now you've got to try and win a European trophy. Does that mean the Europa League is ticked off and can never be won again?
Not necessarily. I mean, look, the way I see it is, and this is just, I would like to challenge for a league title at some point with all 3 clubs.
Sure. Yeah.
However, I think it's significantly more likely I can get Everton into the Europa Conference.
Yeah.
Before I start doing that. And if I can get them into the Europa Conference, I reckon I could do some damage.
Yeah, by the time you'd get them to a Conference League, your team should be good enough to win it.
It's going to take 2 or 3 years, probably, minimum. But there is then the potential. So I just need to keep my job for long enough. And then by the time, if and when we get to Roma, there's the chance to try and turn Roma into title contenders and European contenders as well. Because why? Because I think they've been Champions League every season.
Yeah.
Since the save started.
There's a chance something could happen with them.
There is. So I think that's the most. But I wouldn't. If I did win the Europa, for example, with Roma, I'd absolutely count it. Oh, absolutely,
100%.
Yeah, it's
the 3 teams you've chosen feel like, and this is not to knock any of them, but they feel like Europa League and Conference League is that is a really great achievement for all 3 clubs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if you pull that off for all 3, it's well done, you are Mr. Europa League.
Absolutely. So there's the potential, isn't there?
Okay.
The final thing I will say about this save this evening, D. The final thing I will say, and about my possible big eggy face. All that talk I did about Feyenoord not being good enough to be Champions League contenders. We are, of course, in the save. I'm looking at the save now. I'm on the 1st of April, 2029. Feyenoord are about to play in the Champions League quarterfinals because they have absolutely dominated it this year.
How much of a kicker? If they win a Champions League...
If they win it, I'd be half tempted to count it because it is still my squad.
Yeah.
It's like looking at their transfers, obviously I've helped them out with Jared Branthwaite. They've only signed 3 other players, realistically speaking. Yeah. So, I mean...
I'd let you count it.
I think I should.
Yeah.
I think I should count it. Yeah. I deserve it. But no, they've been great. They've been absolutely fantastic. And I'd like to think that it's in a roundabout way all down to me. Just looking at their outgoings, yeah, weirdly they've sent a lot of players out on loan to Everton. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's weird. It's very specific as well.
Oddly specific, isn't it? Some lad called Saba Karabashvili, who's apparently the most signed player in the game, he's gone on loan to the Albion. Look at that. Who saw that coming?
Hey!
Imagine that. That.
That's nice. That's lovely.
I'm delighted for him. So there we go.
Speaking of a roundabout thing, I'm sort of wrapping it up. Again, referencing a pre-pod chat.
Sure.
But I hinted at a question that I wanted to ask you, and it's also a question that's been submitted by one of the viewers, ladies and gentlemen. And former podcast Booderino, United City FM.
Kepsy.
And it's I've kind of got a little hybrid question going on here, because it's a question because you mentioned that with lack of context, we were on Jaquan.
Yes.
We were on Jaquan's Wikipedia page.
We were.
Jaquan of Getting Tipsy fame, if you remember that song from 2004.
Everybody in the club.
Everybody in the club getting tips. And he was wearing an AC Milan shirt, and we both sort of agreed, from a distance, you could argue, could have been Rafael Leao doing his induction song. So then, Kev's question for you, bringing it back in. Kev's question was, if you had to choose a walk-on song onto the pitch for each of your teams, what would be your walk-on song? And I'm mixing that in with mine as well. I'm going to say either you have to choose your walk-on song for the team, should that become a feature in the game, or what induction song would your manager sing when he joined every club?
I love that.
And none of the options can be Rotterdam by The Beautiful South, because that is too easy a choice.
Too straightforward, isn't it?
Far too straightforward.
Okay, so based purely on my start at Everton, it would be a walk-on song, and it would be the theme from Steptoe and Son.
Fantastic.
Because that accurately sums up what's happening. I think that would work. If and when I inevitably arrive at Roma, the walk-on song and the induction song are going to be the same, and it's going to be Nissan Dorma. So I'm going big.
Beautiful.
I'm going big. And Feyenoord's a tricky one, you know. Feyenoord's a tricky one.
Let's imagine like this: that Europa League final. That the Europa League final. You're standing in the dugout, waiting for your team to come through the tunnel, go out on the pitch, and be ready. And a lovely member of staff wanders over to you and goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Owens. You're allowed to choose the walk-on music for your team for this final now. What song would you wish to be played in this very moment? You're about to play the most important final of your career right now. What song would you like to be performed?"
With that context, the answer has immediately come to me, D. Thank you for that. Thank you.
That's all right.
Thank you for taking me there.
And I noticed that you've picked up a plectrum.
I have. It's just as a...
I didn't know if you were about to play it.
Well, no. No. No, I just don't want to. I think, and I'm going to take this back a few weeks on Pod D. I'm going to refer back to the FMT playlists that we put together. I'm going to refer back to the FMT playlists because there was a song on there that I think collectively, when it was mentioned, a lot of us just went, yeah, that just makes sense. So, of course, the walk-on song for that Europa League final would, of course, have been the football song by Adam and Joe. Balls, 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 footy, 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 balls, 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 football.
I so thought you were going to say Coheed.
You thought I was going to say Coheed? Yeah, it was there.
My brother was like, he's picking Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria.
Okay, now we're in.
No, the
football
song by Adam and Joe.
My view is blocked by a concrete pillar. GLENHODDLEISHAVINGAGOAL. Glenn Oddle is having a goal. Like, that's... Tell me, that's not going to get
That's very impressive.
You have no idea how often I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's your answer, Kev.
There's your answer, Kev.
Thank you for your question.
Steptoe and Son theme, Nissan Dormer, the football song by Adam and Joe. Perfect. Thank you, Kev. We appreciate your question.
What a playlist.
What a playlist. What a night out.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. If you've got questions for the pod, always ask us. We love answering viewer questions. They're great fun.
Comments, people. Put them down there. Put them downstairs.
Chuck them down there. Chuck them down there now. Do it. That, D, feels very much to me like a podcast. Very self-indulgent, albeit, but a podcast nonetheless.
But it was a lovely one to listen to. It was a lovely way to, again, it's nice getting a save recap.
I love a save recap. I like other people's. I like hearing about how things are going in other people's streams. And we had a lovely one from you last week. I've had one from me this week. Because I feel like a lot's happened since I've last talked about this save on stream. So it's been good. It's been lovely. Speaking of streams and saves, D.
Yes.
Just before we say goodbye to everybody, we should probably touch briefly upon the return of the FMT network save.
Yeah. So, just to sort of preface this, obviously we've got our teams.
Yes.
I'm obviously managing the Baggies. You're managing Chef Wed.
I am.
Stakey is at Pompey and Jeb is at Stoke. And we thought what would be a really nice thing to do as camaraderie for our host, our leader, our dictator, really, and our overlord. Yep. What we should do is give all of the teams the same treatment the game has given. And I say the game, I mean the beautiful game has given Sheffield Wednesday. Administration and minus 18 points. So we all went into that save with the exact same boat, which meant we spent the first stream of that basically all of us selling our entire teams.
Yes.
To try and get out of FFP and for the FPA or PFA to go, there you go, you're clear, you can sign people now. It really it ruined things. State got the sack.
State got sacked when he got taken over, which was quite incredible. Earliest sacking ever in a network save. Genuinely quite impressive. 33 days was it? I think Stakey lasted
something like that
in the job at Portsmouth. Now,
all because we broke the game.
All because we broke the game. Because if you've not managed a club in administration on Football Manager, firstly, don't. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's not
Secondly,
worth it.
The game just automatically accepts all transfer bids that come in for your players.
Brutal.
Now, the issue that we had in hindsight is that even though we were all put into administration, our overall finances essentially remained the same in terms of levels of debt. So Jeb and Stakey both got out of administration very quickly because Pompey and Stoke's debt is significantly lower than the Albion and Sheffield Wednesdays.
Yes.
The Albion's is significantly lower than Sheffield Wednesdays. I would need to sell, I'm going to roughly estimate here, I would need to sell my entire club, reserves and all, 3 times over to get out of debt whilst in administration.
Considering the value of the players as well.
Yes, this is this is factored in. It's
I think if I'd sold like considering I basically had got 10 players out of a starting 11 that were in the first team at the start of the save, and everyone else had gone, and the rest were just reserves that had been brought to the first team. I think if I'd continued selling my first team, I reckon by the time I'd got down to like 3 or 4 players, I would have gone. They would have gone, yeah, you're clear now, and it would be like, brilliant. Well, I'm knackered. This doesn't work.
Yes.
I can't do anything with this.
We're screwed. This is the problem. And I think that was the issue. Weirdly enough, with the in-game editors, we found out you can't remove a points deduction from a team.
No.
But you can give other teams points deductions.
Yes, you can.
So that's why we all started on minus 18 points, which, in hindsight, now it does get factored in terms of the pre-season expectations.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to lose your job a couple of months in because you're still you're 26
We're all like
points
relegation favourites. So.
Everybody was relegation favourites. But it just didn't really work because of the financial implications and because of everything else. Like Stakey got out of administration, but he was still, bids were automatically being accepted for his players. He was having to like do little workarounds for signings. Jeb was doing okay. Jeb was Jeb's game was working a bit more straightforward than everybody else's. D and I just sat there and clicked continue all night.
Yeah.
I think all of us lost our opening league game.
How dare you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This guy picked up 3 points.
Oh, you did. Sorry, yes, of course you did.
Because it's what he does.
Send your 3 points.
Yeah.
And to take it all the way back to the beginning of the podcast.
Lost the cup game afterwards.
Yeah, to take it back to the very beginning. Is FM2 easy? Apparently not. Yeah, well, I won the cup. I won in the cup. Nobody else won in the cup. So technically, I win the cup. We have made the decision based on that first night. Shockingly enough, we're going to start again.
Yes. We're going to do a little reset. I think what we've agreed is the minus 18 points stays for everyone, so we get the same points, but no one has administration now. So no one has the problems. I think as well, we're going to clear debts as well.
We are. So everybody has a clean slate, because the problem is, as always, me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Because of you're
who Taylor was singing about.
Because of the pathetic state of my beloved football club, who, by the way, relegated today in the earliest ever relegation in the history of the English Football League.
And it had to be against
Sheffield United. It was their cup final. Honestly, I had lunch at my dad's house today, and he was giving it the big one. And I felt like M. Bison in the Street Fighter movie. Like, for Sheffield United, this was the biggest day of their lives. For me, it was Tuesday. Like, who cares? Like this is like, it really does. Some people are furious about it. I'm so numb to it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. In terms of that side of things, I say, because of my pathetic football club, the only way to do this to make it fun, and I said I would very happily just do it. We'll do it vanilla. Everything stays normal, but it would just be me just getting battered week in, week out by everybody. We're going to clear the debts, and we're also going to, Dee's favourite phrase, spin a little wheel to see who gets a little bit of a...
Sorry, I went catatonic when you said that there. My brain sort of turned off. So you said spinning wheels.
Yeah, just get a little nudge as to who gets a little bit of a nudge in the transfer market in terms of starting budgets. Yeah. Because we're going to tweak them a little bit. But not that somebody's going to get £500 million and just sign like everybody.
2 million, 5 million, 10 million.
It's negligible. But that's the plan. So it's going to be back. At the time of recording, unlikely, we believe, to happen tomorrow night on the 23rd because of Jeb's work commitments, because he's the world's busiest boy. But we're hoping the Monday afterwards we will be back, network's sake. Because, and I will say this, Dee, regardless of what happened in-game,
sure,
I had a wonderful time. Hanging out with everybody.
I had a fabulous time.
It was lovely. And if I had that much fun, when we're just sat there trying to play a save that is at its very soul broken. It just didn't work. We had that much fun doing that. We're going to have an absolute blast when everyone's back together doing it all together. It's going to be grand. It's going to be great.
Wicked.
Yeah, man.
If I could do one very quick thing just before we wrap up as well. Obviously, we are doing the monthly saves in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, link in the description down below. But if you have attempted our Stjarnan, there's a Stjarnan waiting in the sky save. Please make sure you submit your saves. Let us know how you've got on with things. Can just be screenshots of end of season stuff. We have had a couple of people already submitting them. I think Chloe, who's been playing it, he's done a second year.
He's just carried on.
He's enjoyed his first year.
He
just kept
bloody
cooking.
loves Stjarnan. Bloody loves it.
Tremendous fun. But yeah, get them in so we can talk a little bit about them next week.
Please and thank you. Yes, do all of those things. That'd be lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. Send in your submissions. We shall enjoy perusing. Oh yeah, lovely stuff. That feels quite podcasty to me, D.
Felt so podcasty.
Feels very podsy. I've had a wonderful time though. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, buddy. Before we go, if people would like to see you streaming your save, doing your thing, talking about all that music you're releasing, where can they find you doing it, D?
If you want to watch the streams, you can do so over twitch.tv/dboyplays. And if you want to check out any of the music, you can go to Instagram, TikTok, or Spotify, wherever you get your music. Same username, dboyplays. It's all over there. What about you, Rich? What do people want to come hang out with you?
Twitch.tv/RichOwensFM. Watch me try and dig Everton out from the hole that they are in through no fault of my own. Fun. Good. Good times. Good times.
Twitch.tv/Jebaroo and the _steak_bake as well for the other chaps.
Yes, because Stakey has been nuzlocking and popping with you and with Callum, and he's been network saving with us. Just need to get into press go live at some point, and we are cruising. Lovely stuff. D, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, buddy. It's been a bloody pleasure. I've enjoyed this enormously. And also, thank you, the listener, the audience, for listening, for watching.
That made me funny that we both stared at the camera at the same time.
Oh my God, is there a bit of camera on? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, thank you. However, for listening, for watching, however you are consuming this podcast, we appreciate you. You're great. Keep doing it. You're dead sound, and I think you smell really nice, and I really like you. That wraps it up for another episode of Football Manager Therapy. We will see you on the next one. Until then, take care. I love you lots. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's me, Cupby. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I tried for a little while. Hey, you know Cupburger. It's a mutual aid fund created by us for us to take care of our needs. Folks have been applying for grants, getting paid out. Folks have been donating, giving us money every month. We're so grateful. This has been really cool work, and we've met a lot of need already. However, there are some projects that we've been wanting to address that are above our monthly cap allowance. So we've created special projects, and we're launching special projects. If you have a need that is more than our monthly allowance, get in touch. Admins will get in touch with you. We can help you set up a GoFundMe, and Cupburger will be paying out up to 50%. So these are just burgers that look like, anyway, don't get distracted. Up to 50% of our income every month will be paid out to special projects who we have partnered with until those projects' needs are met. Meaning, you may see new chat commands in chat that tell you to go direct to a GoFundMe if you want to give someone money. That's because they're a Cupburger partner, and Cupburger is working with them to fulfill their crowdsourcing needs. Special projects, now a part of Cupburger. Give money. Apply. Cupburger. Have a great day. Bye.